1.25 million would be a forgiveness, or principal forgiveness. So the $2.5 million is proposed to be put on the application until we hear back from the county for round 2, and from Green Acres, which we'll call this as round 3. At that point, we have to start our design and work with the town and figure out what improvements we will put in there. I gave you guys the reduced rendering, the reduced cost estimate. Again, those are all conceptual in nature at this time. They're based on previous projects we've done, including in Evesham and West Hampton. Overall, I think it adds an extreme benefit to the town. It cleans up some open areas, makes them more usable, and also adds more elements for really all ages.
Any questions?
In this bottom number, the 2.5, we're talking about the second round that we applied for the county. Is any of this paid for by that?
Yeah, that's
Received that
what
grant?
we're saying. We have and we're also applying to the
Township.
county. It would be 50% Green Acres, 50% loan, and 250 deductible of that.
I'm out, man. Have fun.
Depending on the amount we get back from the 250, the improvements that are not in here are the walking path, one additional tennis court, and the sound stage.
So the answer is no. It's additional, the 250 would be used for something else, not inclusive in this, is what I'm getting at.
250 would be used for something else, I believe.
Okay, that's what I was getting at.
Yes.
Not, he's saying it could, some of these things.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, so the,
Okay, I apologize for that.
Okay, sorry.
250,
I had thought that the state
Yeah.
was in this list here.
okay, well, that's,
So this is all
Okay.
outside basketball.
yeah, at some point when we get
Nothing
the county money,
fields, no.
which we anticipate in December, November, December, similar to last year, my hope is that Green Acres does make a decision by September. That's what they've said, but
would there be any economies of scale if we get the 250? Or is there any possibility of economies of scale if we get the 250 and we get Green Acres? Or is the Green Acres going to be prior to the county, it sounds like?
well, the 250 is a complete grant.
I got that.
So
Yep,
you're
yep.
gonna wanna get that and use that up versus the 50-50 split that we get with this.
Gotcha. Green Acres, we would hear from first?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
Even though they say September, October,
County last time announced in August.
yes.
Okay. So, I guess back to my original question, is there any economies of scale if we get them both that you can see?
Well, we're not gonna know, of the 2.5, we're not going to know what Green Acres is going to say, here's your approved amount. It could be 3/4, it could be 100%, 3/4, or half of that. Depending on what that is, we will have to work with the other 250 to figure out how we're gonna stage everything and come up with an ultimate design and work with that so we know, hey, this should be built first, ground up, basically. That's basically.
This is basically a wish list.
That's correct. This is a full, and again, this is not necessarily how it's going to end up looking, but the line items are listed in our estimate. So the town's looking at a $2.5 million improvement overall. Whether it gets done in 1 year or over a scope of years with Green Acres, we'll have to see.
Okay.
Jason, Luke? Yep. At this time, anyone from the public have any comments on the application of Andy?
This area is known to flood. We're proposing putting a lot of more impervious surface, parking lot, tennis courts, basketball courts, other structures. How are you going to deal with that? I mean, I would like to see this, if you put the walkway in the parking, have it be pervious pavement, something that's not impervious, because it floods.
Pervious pavement,
Yes.
pervious pavement is a possibility. We do have stormwater management listed in our estimate. We're not showing where just because it's a conceptual plan right now.
I mean, you could put, I mean, you have structures there, you could put in rain gardens, you could put
Absolutely.
other things in, because it has flooding.
And just so everybody knows, the stormwater rules will apply. We're adding more than a quarter acre of impervious, so we will have to meet those rules when we reach that threshold.
So that's,
Yeah.
but you would, I mean, you could lower that impervious by adding, I agree that you needed more parking there, but there's no reason it has to be asphalt. It
Yes.
can be-
Yes.
Any other questions? Comments? I'm hearing none. Josh?
Josh Brown, 610 Holly Lane. I think the water park improvement's a great aspect to it. As you can tell, the heat out here tonight. Not a lot of our residents are able to go to pools or anything like that, so I think they'll be able to cool off. The only thing I gotta say is that with the bathroom facilities, maybe they be stainless steel inside, just so that we have an easy cleaner. Just because I don't know if our public works is able to keep up and clean everything, so the easiest as possible.
Absolutely. You got that?
Yeah.
Stainless steel?
Got it.
Awesome. Thanks, Josh. Anybody else? Hearing none, we're going to close the public portion. Bring it back to council. Any other questions? None? All right. Thanks, Kurt.
Thank you.
Page. What's in purple? I don't like the stuff on the
All right, next we have the approval of minutes. This is the June 23rd, 2014 regular meeting minutes. Questions, comments, corrections? None? Motion to approve. Second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Felton,
Yes.
Brown, Jones,
Yes.
Matata.
Yes. Matters to be presented by the public. This is the public portion. Members of the public are invited to submit comments during the public comment portion of this meeting. The council pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act will not publicly discuss personnel matters, may choose not to respond to comments made by members of the public during this portion of the meeting. However, the council will give all comments appropriate consideration and will refer all individual complaints to the township manager or the appropriate township person for resolution. Each citizen will be allotted up to 5 minutes to speak, in order to allow everyone the opportunity to express their opinions or concerns. At this time, members of the public have questions, concerns, comments, please raise your hand and come up. State your name and address for the record, and proceed.
Jeff Evers, 102 Broad Street. When I was at the last council meeting 3 weeks ago, I talked to the township about the property on Washington Street and King Street. I don't know whether the township manager's been able to talk about that property. The fence is still laying on its ground, the street is still going on the sidewalks, you can walk the sidewalks, trash, weeds and all that stuff. It's one of the ugliest properties in our redevelopment area.
Eric, you
Perhaps
want
they
to
could address that, what he's gonna do, and how long that would take. The other question that says Josh Brown happens to be here. Look,
It's right there.
I have a question. I saw Josh Brown entering the building behind my store called Window Broke Down, the old Lakes Appliance building. Perhaps some updates on the condition of that building, some what we're gonna do about that building. Maybe something to be redeveloped or whatever.
I can answer the second one right now. Right now, we don't own it.
I know you don't.
We looked at it, awful shape, and as of right now, it's part of the redevelopment area, but there's currently,
Well, my question.
there's no definitive plan yet as what's gonna go there, so it makes no sense as a township to purchase a property and hold it without a plan intact. And we've discussed this at the council before in the past. I think everyone, if you would agree with me, that unless we have a plan and developer ready to buy something and move forward there, taking a taxable property off the tax rolls, owning it as a township entity, is really not something we're looking to do right now, until we have a plan for there.
My concern would be, if there's a sign that's for sale, there's a realtor involved, I'm sure it's seller, so we know who owns it, they'd be happy to sell to somebody. So they should be approached and told to fix up their property and make it visibly aesthetically pleasing, even though, you know, my personal opinion is, if I was a developer, I came to town, there's some ugly looking properties in the neighborhood, I say, boy, you know, if I got these properties, I can make this town look really good. But the other town looks really, really bad, and they're like, where do we start? And the other problem with that building is if you allow it to decay, it becomes a tear down, you'll never build on that site again. Because it's got water restrictions, EPA restrictions, you've got all kinds of issues on there, to never build on that property. So if you let the roof cave in, and the walls fall down, there will be no redevelopment on it, it'll be a parking lot. So the township now should go to the person who owns that property and enforce the codes and make them fix up that property. At least make it so it's safe and doesn't deteriorate to where it becomes a tear down. Because I know that building's ready to be a tear down. It's just a matter of time. And I'm behind the building, and my store's there. I just cleaned up King Street, made that nice. The Buzzards hired one of my employees to clean up their property. So the town looks good in that part. And if if you bring a developer into Mount Holly, and the town says, oh, well, we just need to tweak it here and tweak it there and make it nice, they might actually come in and want to develop it, but the whole town looks bad. Why would what's a developer? What's the incentive? Well, nobody cares here, so why should I care? But that building really needs to be addressed, the ceiling, I'm sure the ceiling, because there was an issue with that 25 years ago, I had it under contract.
Still an issue.
Right. So when the ceiling caves in and the walls fall down, now you've got a parking lot.
We'll reach out to them. We are communicating with them.
I mean, I would like to know a timetable for fixing it, doing something to make that property look better.
This is the King of Washington.
King of Washington.
Yeah, Eric, you want to address that?
Actually, we're negotiating amongst ourselves to come up with a couple ideas. Councilman Jones, myself, and Public Works, and we've got a couple ideas we're going to put together.
We gave 60-day time.
What's that?
Well, if you look, I mean.
We're working on it.
Buzzards got harassed, I guess, because they called me to ask me if I know they fix up their property. I mulched on
We're
King
going to go
Street.
clean it.
I've seen them all.
No, we're gonna clean it, but we have a plan and we're working on it, it's taking a little bit more time.
Another question, right across Lippincott, there's a strip of land that's maybe 2 foot wide, it's 100 yards long, and I imagine that'd be a township property, since it's on the road, right before you get to Lippincott. Well, across the street from Lippincott, so that's never been done, so that's about 2 foot tall. I mean, these are gateways, if we can't clean up 3 or 4 streets in Mount Holly, I mean, really, then we need to do something, hire more public works, or take the money from somewhere else and put it all in public works.
Why don't you mention that?
We're working on it.
Hey,
Thank you.
Mayor, on the
Thanks,
issue-
Jeff. And then George had a couple comments.
Just to update on the Lakes Appliance, Mr. Brown and I had a phone conference scheduled this past Friday with Mr. Capelli, our redevelopment attorney. Unfortunately, Mr. Capelli was stuck in court on Lakes Appliance. Josh and I have had at least 4 or 5 meetings. We've actually met with the realtor. I've been into the property as well. Given the nature of the redevelopment, we intend to have an executive session to discuss that, probably in the next month. So the council can be updated on that property, given that it is in the redevelopment area and the key nature to it.
Thank you.
I just have a quick question.
Name?
Sorry, Amy, I was wanted to review.
Thanks, Amy.
At the last meeting I was at, Mr. Sapanero, we're gonna look into seeing about some liens on some of these properties.
We don't forget the conference here with the chief and Mr. Barry, but we can schedule it.
So you are gonna be able to maybe do that?
You can leave properties, yes.
And we're going to like propose?
Yeah, and actually, prior to this meeting, just to let you know, I was talking to Mr. Barry about some more improvements we have to our current ordinance as far as enforcing these certain things in other towns in the vicinity. Like was discussed in general terms in the last meeting about, there's a certain limitation, we need to stop slapping people on the wrists and say, okay, it's deteriorating, oh, it's vacant, oh, it's bank owned. At a certain point, and I think even Jeff brought it up at the last meeting, you get an old historic house, or even not a historic house, and something happens, somebody walks away, bank owned, repossessed, whatever the issue is. If it's not remediated in some orderly fashion in a certain time period, things happen. Things get broken into, things get stolen. At the end of the day, you want to be having a house that's tear down and then rebuild, and that's not really what we want. We can save the properties that we have if we just try to be a little bit more aggressive on handling the issues.
Yeah, that's a big concern.
So what we are looking at doing that. It takes a little bit of time to make some changes and do some R&D on what legally we can and can't do, but once we have an update for that, we'll definitely be able to provide that to the public.
Okay, another question I have for you. Do you know, I think many years ago, there was an ordinance passed where if there's an apartment building, I think it's 4 units or more, you have to have a live-in agent, somebody on the premises that actually lives on the property that would oversee, like somebody you could call if there was an issue there, say
Like
the
a
apartment.
grounds
Property
person.
manager.
Yeah, but they
No, I
have to
don't know.
live there. They have to live there.
I don't have any, I don't have an answer. I'm not sure.
How would we look into that?
Or it's something we can look into and find out.
It has to be some responsible party.
There's different state laws on a number of apartments that usually deals with the inspections. But I'll see what we have in place for any ordinances in relation to that.
Because I know there's some properties in town that are apartment buildings that are a problem, and they're managed, they're absentee landlords, and they're managed by property management companies, and maybe never even come by and pick up the mail and the trash and the, so we can look to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ask one more question.
Sure.
1 second, we'll circle around, there's some other people that are over there. I'm sure if we can't do it, we'll.
Okay.
David Mel, 25 Pine, and 41 High. I was here months ago, and actually I was talking to Alan Holloway, and it's not a matter of whether or not, it's just a matter of when. The tree in front of my building is going to fall down. It's bad. One down the street just went, and it's all hollowed out and rotted. It's got some kind of blight disease, it's dying. So maybe you could give me a time when, like, is there a time frame when that's going to really be addressed?
Can we have something with that? I think when you were here, Randy, did you go out and do something?
I saw it needed to be definitely trimmed over the top of the building.
I remember you said you were gonna take a look at it.
Yeah.
Or something.
I mean,
It grows up, there's a really big crotch there, and I put a tape down inside there. It's going down over a foot down, where it's just rotted. And the same thing happened to the one that fell off, and I didn't really notice it until Alan showed it to me, and they're all like that. The crotch of mine has never been trimmed in 25 years. It's huge. It's getting ready to go. You know. And I have another question. Where's all the water in the mill dam? Yeah, the one on High Street, the flower repair on High Street, right in front of my barber shop. And incidentally, I want to say, my immediate area where my working area is, it's the best it's ever been in 25 years. For real. I mean, across the street from me, the coffee shop, they're doing real good. The guy at the new pizza shop 2 doors down from me, setting the world on fire, and it's a real nice crowd of people. And then directly across from my place there, the guy's got the new brewery. As soon as he opens the doors, all new people, I don't know who they are, and I know everybody. And that, they spend money in town, so that's a good thing. But I want to know, I've been here 25 years, where's all the water in the mill dam? Are you flushing something out, or is there a reason there's no
We
water
were
in it?
required by the NJDEP and New Jersey Wildlife to lower the water at Woman Lake for the broken dam issue that happened last rain. So we remediated the fish and moved them elsewhere and lowered the water.
Okay, that's Woman's Lake, right?
He's talking about.
I'm talking about a mill dam.
Sorry.
Yeah, there's a lot of water behind the mill dam that's shooting down the first bridge that goes underneath the Pine Street. That's got a lot of water in it. But the part that's coming over the 7 gates and the 3 gates where the brick building is, there's going to be bad fish kill there if somebody doesn't support the water in it. I don't know why the water's been diverted. I mean, we had a lot of rain for like a whole year, and I don't know if it was that, and it hasn't rained, and now, oh man, it's the driest I've ever seen. We walk right across it.
Even when there's water in there, you can walk straight across it. The erosion it needs to be addressed. And it's something that I've been addressing since I've been up there. there's, I mean,
It needs to be dredged, but can't
it used to
anybody
be a
open?
swimming hole back in the day. I mean, I'm sure
Right,
you
right.
know. And
It
nowadays.
seems like if you would close a little bit of the gate off of the water that runs down through Mill Street, it goes under the first bridge, it goes down all the way down actually where the Robin's Nest is there, you know. If you could close that one off and divert a little bit more water over the dam, I mean, fishing's terrible there now. And the fish are, they're gonna, if it keeps up, there's gonna be a big fish kill there.
There's not much water, I understand, but I mean, like I said, it needs to be dredged and, something we have to work with DEP on, because,
I think it's more than a DEP issue. I have meetings set up with our
because
current
I've brought it to
congressman, but
the mayor's
we're
attention.
looking at Army Corps coming in, doing something, but there's a lot of work to get done.
Well, are the gates open fully, or are they,
I don't know the answer.
well, I don't think they are. They're closed off, and most of the water is being diverted down, you know, down towards the Pine Street area, where more could come over into the Mill Street, it would help a little bit, and
Yeah, you can check with the dam engineer and they go back.
well, who is in charge of that, the county, or is it the township?
The ones that we own is with the township and by advisement of our dam engineer on how much they can be open and closed based on prior flooding, based on current remediation situation. Now, just a slew of different things that go into
Well,
calculation.
if you could, maybe see about getting them open up, trying to get a little bit more water in there, and like, hey, if you could get it dredged out, that would be like totally awesome.
That's a multi-million-dollar project
Yes.
there, but we're looking at.
Well, in the meantime, it still would
Mirror
have, you
Lake
know,
do it.
keeping the fish alive and keeping fishing going on there would be pretty nice if you could get a little more water in there somehow, open the gates. But anyway, that's it for me.
Thank you very much.
And, do we have a time frame on the tree? Somebody's gonna look at that
We will have that looked at this week, right there.
this week.
Looked at, looked at,
Looked at.
looked at.
All right, thank you.
We'll send someone in to give you the good word on what is going on with the tree.
Okay, awesome.
Thanks, Dave. Louis?
No.
It's over there, isn't it?
Way over there. Yeah. Dude, there's nowhere.
Randy seems to know that they
For President, on the bid that,
Complain that there's, you
together
can see the trash. We're up.
before the fireworks.
That's not
There's also an
What
adjustment
will happen
that's
is
up
that later will
near
dry up,
where,
or we'll call it.
you know where the new veterinarian place is? Yeah, they're running more water through there, less over the dam.
I don't understand the question.
What will happen is that I took a picture and, the room
We
lit
just addressed that with
halfway.
the last individual that spoke. As far as the lake without the water, we
That
have
water
to
there could
refer
be
to our
lowered
engineer
more
why the
over the
water is
dam.
not being pushed through the dam. So it can, the engineers decide on when and how much water can be going through, so we don't have a flooding situation. So we need to consult with them. If it dries up, we are looking at some fish loss and some habitat loss, but, we're gonna work on, trying to work on getting that situated so that doesn't happen.
I got a personal matter of concern about why is Mr. O'Malley trying to do this issue after he's out on the mayor of the county for Ryan Sanders and then take nobody
So
from
anyway,
us
we had, we don't have rainwater.
or for nothing from Township.
Water was held right in there because it was deep.
I don't,
Now that it's shallow,
What do you,
That's what I-
it just runs right through.
You're going to, you see the attorney for the West Island, or he's out of it?
He's no longer performing any services for the township. There were some old invoices that were not paid from 2012 that were taken care of. There was no.
Maybe he doesn't, well, he does, something to our township.
There are still other matters that are being disputed, and we'll provide council an update on that. But he is not performing any services for the township.
That's why I know that. And I got a question, I want to say thank you to everybody, for the bring fireworks video of 18 minutes and 22 seconds.
Did you enjoy it?
Oh, yeah, I wish Animal Hollywood could record the whole 18 minutes. I mean,
It gets boring watching 18 minutes on video. It's fun in person, but it's boring on a video.
16 people came to vote. Oh, you read about that by hit, you helicopter the fireworks?
That's not a council meeting. No, I wasn't worried about it.
Okay. Resolution,
Which one, Louis?
resolution, I. Resolution 2014-103.
The sick day policy?
Yeah, can you clarify more?
This is a, you wanna?
It's not binding, it's urging this would be resolution urging the state to adopt the policy. Basically, people have sick time on their books, and I know some people at the state were pushing and urging the council to pass a resolution supporting a policy which would allow one employee to donate their sick time to another employee who had a very serious lengthy illness who would otherwise be out of their sick time and would be able to be paid.
I'm pretty agree with that. That's
Yeah,
a good
no, it is.
resolution.
I think you said much better than I would do explain.
And the last one is the last resolution to our agenda item,
105?
105.
This is us solidifying a contract.
Crossing roads.
The AFL-CIO.
Crossing
Crossing
roads,
guards
yeah.
in the township.
And I'm glad they're pushing up the drinking age to age 25. That's a good thing. Would be less accident. Like 18 drinking or August 1st. It's from 21 to 25 years.
Raise it from 21 to 25.
That's,
Yeah, Louis, that was fake. You better not
that was
fake
fake.
it.
That was,
Yeah,
that's
that
a
was
fake.
fake.
That was a Facebook message.
I'm
They don't know why to run it.
Yeah, no, that was fake, yeah.
And I think early this year, I filled the application of the 3 people for the application from Crossing Court. The status of renewable or the act Crossing Court for the next year, do you know?
Yeah, the chief would know that answer.
Okay, thank you.
We'll get the answer for you though. Carol, I know I saw your hand up before. You have a question?
Carolyn Lillian, 197 Park Lane. I just wanted to check on 214 Cardinal and 214 Woodpecker.
Those are probably talking about last year, last meeting, yep.
And last year, the year before.
Last year too.
And before.
That was a slip.
Anything on those two properties?
We haven't heard any update, but Eric, if you can reach out to Steve and see if there's nothing in town.
Yeah, I mean, the 214 Cardinal is vacant, but 214 Woodpecker, there is a family living there.
Stuff real quick.
And now I have another one to add to it. 201 Cardinal, the mortgage company, they do send people out to cut the grass, and they do. However, the hedges are at least 6 feet tall. I spoke to a guy that always comes, very nice, and they have to be contracted. So I called the number on the house, and she called me back, and she said, at this time, we will not be cutting the hedges. I don't know what it will take to get them cut, but it just seems whatever we as
Well, if they're
residents have.
responsive to you, they're responsive to the abandoned property.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
So maybe if they're responsive to you, they'll be responsive to the township inquiring about the abandoned property, where it's very fast.
Wait a minute, rewind.
Code, they're gonna reach out to the mortgage company, so maybe you could email Eric the number that you.
Okay, I will. I'll give
And
you,
the
I have it on
contact
my
person.
phone, so I'll give it to you. I mean, she was nice, and, same thing we have to do, they can have to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Jeff? Oh, sorry, I didn't. Come on up.
I just wanted a clarification.
Let's see your name and
Oh, Grace Ray, 208 East 116.
location,
Is
they're
that the
building that
one?
park. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just wondering how an update of the one for one, maybe 3 acres, and also if council manager, Elizabeth, has had a chance to meet with Colin for the people, and for the update on picking up ordinances.
We did meet with the Collins issue, we didn't get to the issues that you would have liked to have had us get to for the reasons that I mentioned to Mr. Lopez. I think that our discussions went elsewhere on the other subject, unfortunately. But I think the manager should look out to some other avenues besides, leave it at that for litigation reasons.
Lisa Walker said nothing has been done, and we intend on to, it's getting really bad, all the, plus, the middle lake, there's rain and that's raining, and it's getting very hot.
But there shouldn't be any fish
Some
in
of the
that.
names are-
There shouldn't be any fish in that lake.
Well, there's so many.
I can assure you that it's on our radar and it's look at it. Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate it, thank you.
Jeff Evers, my 50 Cross. You know the board ups on houses? Don't we have an ordinance where they're supposed to board them up on the inside of the windows? Because I know there's an ordinance that I got about from code enforcement saying that windows have to be free of obstruction and stuff, if there's something that has to be done behind the windows. But I noticed a couple houses are boarding them up on the outside, not very nicely, and then they're leaving extra wood laying around on the outside. And I'm saying if we're gonna have all these vacant houses and we do have to board them up, wouldn't it be nice if they boarded them up from the inside? So it looks, when you ride down the street, it's not obvious that we've got all these boarded up houses. And I believe we already have that ordinance, and if not in the code enforcement, we have ordinance against obstructing windows and stuff like that, so.
George, can you get that to me?
We could probably take that ordinance and apply it to those people who board up windows.
That was-
Because it does look bad when you have these big yellow signs.
I'm not, when you're looking at,
Add something, you know,
Create some other.
I think the ordinance was, it would be boarded up from the outside, but it had to match the color of the house, so it wasn't noticeable. So if you were to board up the front of the house, and the house was white, then the board up should be white, so that it didn't stand out. Boarding it up from the inside was leading to open windows, and there is no real way to secure it. Because I think we had board one up years ago for the township, and I reached out to find out how to do it. And 2x4 strapping and all that stuff wasn't, you're thinking about, wasn't required. What was required though is that whatever the color of the exterior was, the board up should match.
So you're saying they couldn't board the inside of the house for some
It was-
reason, they
it-
break the glass out or something?
Exactly.
But I'll
Exactly.
check.
Exactly.
It'd definitely be aesthetically more pleasing if you could pass ours for that before that inside.
Yeah, I'm just not sure how you do it so that it looks good.
Look the same as the outside.
Yeah, we're gonna take a look into it.
Yeah, whatever the,
Cheap
whatever-
extras and a piece of plywood on the inside, then it would look just like the window. And you'd be looking at, like if there's a shade drawn on the window, instead of looking at a big piece of wood. And what they're using is that press board, so you know in a couple of years it's all gonna be peeling and breaking off anyway, so it's not gonna send anybody out. So now it's fine.
I think our ordinance says it has to be painted to match the exterior, but it's almost possible. Yeah, check into that.
All right, any other questions, comments? Seeing none, close the public portion of the meeting, we'll look at the consent agenda.
So very quickly, I think it, 97, 98, and 105, those should be voted on independently, probably should be on consent agenda. It should be
97, 98, 99.
97, 98, and 105, I'm sorry.
three resolutions recommended by the village.
I'd like 2014-103 voted on separately. I heard the solicitor's explanation, but what I read in this resolution didn't say that. So I'm not sure if he's got some more information in terms of provided. But what he mentioned, the word of that is in this resolution. I'd like that word separate. The way I understood it, what we were supporting was the trading of already existing, or as he explained it, was the trading of existing accrued sick days to another employee. From what I'm reading here, it's mandated that businesses it's mandated that businesses give sick leave, or that's what I'm reading. I'm not reading the same thing.
And so it's different, I apologize for that.
Yeah.
There's, that's being urged as well, and this is a different one, it's the correct one.
That's a different bill.
Yes.
Okay.
So we have 97, 105, 103, and 98 being pulled into the consent agenda. Okay.
And I guess we might as well add the goal list and the reports to the consent agenda.
Okay. That's absolutely fine. Sorry, Mr. Soft is distracted. And with that being said, do I have a motion to the consent agenda minus resolution 2014-97, 98, 103, and 105. Also to include the bill list and the company reports.
Make a motion to approve.
Do I hear a second? Roll call, please.
Melton,
Yes.
Mr. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Jones,
Yes, with the extension of 99.
Abstention?
Extension, 2014-99.
Mr. DeFalco.
Yes. Okay, next we have resolution number 2014-97. This is the resolution setting forth temporary appropriations. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve 2014-97.
Do we have a second? Roll call, please.
Mr. Melton,
Yes.
Mr. Brown, Mr. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. DeFalco.
Yes. Resolution number 2014-98. This is a resolution introducing the 2014 municipal budget in a total amount of $9.283 million. Change. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Excuse me, if I can interrupt, there was a different version of the resolution that was passed out that changed that amount. It was noted this afternoon that they were not really correct.
That is correct. I slashed that, and we have written the same resolution with the amount of going from 9283 08522 to 9239 92004. So it went down.
I will make that motion for resolution 2014-98.
Is there a second?
Also,
Roll call, please.
Mr. Melton,
Abstain.
Mr. Brown, Mr. Jones.
Yes.
Mr. DeFalco.
Yes.
What's the thunder?
Next we have resolution 2014-103. This is a resolution urging the state legislature and governor to enact statewide earned sick day policy. Is there a motion on this?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2014-103.
Is there a second on that? Roll call, please.
Mr. Melton,
No.
Mr. Brown,
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Duffy?
Yes. Next, we have resolution 2014-105. This is a resolution authorizing the execution of a contract between the Township of Mount Holly and the Communication Workers of America between January 1, 2013 and December 31st, 2017. Do we have a motion on this resolution?
Make a motion for 2014-105.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Felton?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Duffy?
Yes. Item number 12, just, please take note that I will be extending the term and appointing Raymond Gardner to the Historic Preservation Commission, expiring December 31st, 2014. This is another go need green application prior to December 2013, be considered for the actual full term, so January 1. There's a motion to spend on that. Yeah, and Mr. Dallas is on board on it. All right, that being said, any matters to be reported by the manager?
Just one item, I'd just like to highlight the draft of your new policy procedure manual. We haven't updated one in 14 years, so if you mind perusing that and any questions, suggestions, get back to me, please. That's it.
George? Lou?
Rich, I'd just like to congratulate you on fireworks, 4th of July, 5th of July.
Like it. Independence Day fireworks. Thank you. Anything else?
Second, you did a great job. Appreciate it. Next time you want to get some more people to do the dump tank.
Right back here for a couple days after that. Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. I was soaked.
That's all. Thank you. And just for the record, it wasn't just me. There's some people that were involved in making the events possible in town. So, like I said that night, if you were there, huge applause goes to the Township Police, Public Works, for overtime to be there, help set up, take down your red trash, all the volunteers, Alan for his awesome little camera, picking us up in the fireworks. People were absolutely amazed at the UFO that was flying around. If you were back there, all they were saying was, "Oh, we almost got hit. Oh, look, it just moved out of the way." They were waiting for it to get hit, but it was entertaining to us. So, it was a good night. I think we had, I don't know how many people we had here tonight, but I think every road was full with parking. So, that just brings more people to town and shows what we can possibly offer people. With that being said, our next meeting is July 28th, 2014, and it's 7 p.m. Yeah. And one thing before I go in there, this up here. I didn't see it on here. George, we should probably put it on here. Resolution as pertains to executive session.
It is on the
95. We will be going back into executive session as it pertains to contracts, employees, et cetera, a lot of stuff. No action was taken. Do I have motion into executive? At this time, we're going to ask us to, actually, we're going to take a break